Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Grand Parades here tonight again. We are delighted this evening to be joined by Neil Glass from All the March Videos. Hi, Neil.
Hello, how are you?
Are you warm enough?
Keeping well now, yes. Right beside the radiator here, on my hands.
I am freezing, absolutely freezing. Maybe I have to get a cardi or something on me. It's just, but I haven't ventured out the whole day in the snow, so I've been avoiding it like the plague.
Yeah, it's me too, just stayed in all day, hugging the radiator.
So, what's your choice for tonight then? What's your theme? I know you always go for a theme.
Well, tonight I dived down into the archives and I picked out a lot of bands that no longer walk. Some bands are still together, but they're not parading, they're orchestras now, or they're just do events and that there. One or two bands I'm not too sure about, so I'm not just going to put them off the road just yet in case they're out there somewhere.
You're not going to make the mistake I do then, no?
Some of the clips are taken from LPs and stuff like that there, of a wee bit of Scottish, a wee bit of local.
Can't be bad to that. Let's see who all's in with us this evening. I've missed a few at the beginning, and apologies for that. But Keith Weir's in from Drumore, Liam Toker from Lisburn, Sylvia Spain from Cookstown, Leslie Ann Harvey's watching. Jordan Winton has asked him what band that is playing. If I remember correctly, Jordan, that is Clocker Protestant Boys. Mary McKee's watching Eddie Torney, Amy and Denise and Chili Koch. John Hewitt's in Liverpool. He's looking forward to another great night of music. Muriel and Sammy are watching. Mom and Dad. Reggie and Tilly are watching. Hopefully Joy is also watching. Jim Gibson is watching. Jennifer and Craigie is watching. As is Rab White, Brian Goody, Jonathan and Johnny and Ross in Courtney in West Lothian. Tommy Lloyd's watching from Loyalist Liverpool, William Torrance, Keith McGinney, William Callahan, William Scott and Cumber. So we've got we've got 250 in at the moment, Neil. So they're hopefully going to be well entertained with your music tonight.
What else would you do on a Saturday night? I mean, this there just keeps everything going. You know, gets us back in the mood for getting out in the streets. Hopefully it won't be too long.
Well, who's your first band, Neil? Who did you choose first?
First band up tonight is a wee local band, yes, and I'll have to apologise because with a lot of the bands no longer existing, a lot of them are the bands that I would have knew years ago. So we're going to start off the night with Crown Defenders, which were from Mossley here in Newton Abbey. And fortunately, sadly, they're no longer on the road. And this is a great wee clip of them just finishing off the parade.
playing there. It's a pity they're no longer with us. And of course, that is who the Crown Defenders Forum is named after.
That's right.
It is.
I'm trying to remember the side drummer from East Belfast Protestant Boys, who's in the Crown Defenders. Wayne, that's right, Wayne. He's the main guy behind it, and the forum's still up and running. I was on it there shortly looking up some information. There's a lot of history there on bands that's sadly no longer on the road, and it's great to look back on old videos too.
It is. It's just, I think the days of the online forum are kind of dead and gone. I mean, there used to be three. There used to be Crown Defenders. There used to be obviously Ulster Bands Forum, and there was also Bands Forum, which Derek Williams had run. I made the decision quite some time ago that, like, I mean, the forums are dying on their feet, you know, that because social media is so much easier to work, much more coverage, etc. But Wayne, fair play to him, he's kept at it and kept it going along. But I decided that this was a better platform going forward, and it may change in the future. We don't know what's ahead of us. A few more I want to say out to because I'm losing text right, left, and centre. Carl Clyde are watching in Limavady up there. Just missed your text message, so it's gone off the screen. Annabel Kinnear is in Windsor Park, South Belfast. David Thompson in Limavady. Norris and Louis Main are watching. Aaron Chambers is watching. Roy Hyman says hello from all in Portrush. Bart Rennick says good evening from a frosty Maguire's Bridge. Linda and Fred are in a cold Carrickfergus. There's a thing going on here. We're all very cold. Joel Jackson is watching in Ballykelly. David Sheridan says it's freezing outside. Ian Campbell's in East Belfast. Stephen Philly's wanting to know, are they on tonight, Neil?
No, I don't think so. They're still on parade.
They would have you on it every night, honest to goodness. Kenny Laird's watching in Airdrie. Scott Clark was asking who's playing at the start. I think I've answered that, Clark. It is, of course, Clocker. What Victoria Sheridan's watching. Stephen Campbell's looking forward to another great night. Albert Harkness is watching. Irene Sheen, Caroline Hughes, John Bell in Donaghadee, Joe McGraw, Alex Kay, Joy Cullen. She says she's multitasking tonight because she's also watching the Schomburg Virtual Burns Night. So, of course, tonight would be the Burns Night celebrations if we were allowed to have them. Celebrate Robbie Burns' his birthday on Monday, I think it is.
It's a thing I've never done to or never been at before, but they always seem like good crack.
They are brilliant crack.
It always felt that I had a lodge meeting at the same night that the Burns Night celebrations was on. So for me, the lodge came first.
Of course, but I played an awful lot of them, obviously, with Ulster Scott stuff, and haggis, ties, and neeps. Oh, I love haggis. What does everybody else think of haggis? Do you like haggis, Neil? Have you ever tried it?
I have tried it. I quite like it quite a lot. I like it battered too, out of the chip shop with chips.
Oh, I've never had it battered. Roy, what about you? Have you ever had haggis?
Yes, I don't like it.
Do you not?
And I don't celebrate Burns Night either, so I'm a rubbish Ulster Scot. I'm not an Ulster Scot, and
definitely are rubbish.
Yeah.
No,
not
I
into
like
all that. Michelle
Michelle
loves it all. She loves all her haggis and neeps and stuff, but no, not me.
I used to devise up, like set lists of, nothing but Burns songs, and quite a lot of the Burns songs are played by bands as well. We should have done that for tonight, Roy. We never thought. We weren't quick off marking that, so we weren't. Nigel Emmons is watching. He says, onwards and upwards, keep on marching. Irvine McCabe's watching. He wants me to say hello to Carl. Aaron Chambers hopes the doggies are in. No, the doggies aren't in Aaron because they have to get, one of them has to get his tablets at 8 o'clock. So he's always getting his tablets, and then it just depends whether he wants to join me or not. Adam Livingston wants to know what time Lisburn Young Defenders is on. They are not on because they are still an extremely active band. Betty Tony says Ballyhalbert have just split up. Can we have a wee clip of them, please? Trying anything. Roy Fisher is watching from a wettish Southern California. He's looking forward to the show this evening. David Thompson. Oh, I said you're watching from Limavady. Steve McKinney's watching. Joy Collin wants to know any word of China. I'd say China's probably still in his band or on his ban. In his band. Miriam Webb's watching with Cool, Samuel McCuston from Belfast, Brian McNeil, Bangor, Ryan McGuinness, Mary Irvine in Wigan. Oh my goodness. Loads and loads. I'll get through a few more after our next clip. Who's up next, Nate?
Up next, we band sadly weren't on the road for very long. We band from Ballycarry called the Village Food Band. Seen them a few times in and around Belfast. They had their own parade a couple of times in the wee village of Ballycarry, County Antrim. There's a great butcher's in Ballycarry, and whenever they had the parade, he brought the barbecue out the front of the shop and was doing burgers and hot dogs. You could smell it the whole way down the street. Always remember the parade just for the burgers.
You mark the parades by the food, don't you, Neil?
Oh, I always love the
That makes a change, Neil. Burgers and stuff just makes a change from teas, buns, and sandwiches that you normally go for. It's normally the buns.
Elaine was baking the day. I'll have to send you a few. And you, fella. And you.
Playing well there. It's funny whenever you see all these bands who are no longer active, you always think to yourself, they were a really good band. Why did they fold? You know, but circumstances and all that kind of stuff. Harry Hannah is from Dollingstown. He wants to know if there's a chance of hearing Belfast Jig. Harry, it's a hard thing in the world to find a particular tune on YouTube, unless it's in the name. It is so difficult to find it. Helen Thompson is watching from good old Limavady. Chris Moore wants to know that the Donegal Fusiliers' old uniform could be. I don't know. Kevin Namigan is watching from Larne. Of Donegal's accordion. Ali Halbert just split up. Stephen Felix says they're probably not split up long enough, Eddie. That'll be the excuse. I don't need an excuse. They're not at all. Colin Johnson from Liverpool is watching Trevor William Monaghan. Lorna McElrath is watching him yet. To request is added, Lorna. Keith McCormick says, sorry, I'm late. It was on Netflix with the Derry Girls. Okay. Eddie Jordy says, any yes, to keep us off the road. It's not official to Andy Val puts it off the road. That is totally right. No band is allowed to fold now until I officially announce it. That's exactly it. So there'll be no bands folding from now on. Absolutely not. William Fedden stayed in a frosty Portland. I saw somebody else. John Taylor is in a stunning new buildings. John China's just message there to say is here in heart and soul. John, you're being missed based on the number of comments that is coming on. Leeds Francis is watching in Leeds, West Yorkshire. Sweat slashing off me and Ballymena, says Robert Lee. Beckett is watching in Tandragee. Scotty Crinkles in Loyalist Carl Luke. I did see someone saying, let me scroll down here till I get it. That he's watching the house, he's marching about the house with the Uber, Jonathan McKay, and he says, keep the tunes coming because he's doing marking time while we're talking. So let's keep him vacuuming and make sure that he keeps the house nice and clean. And then come down and do mine, Jonathan, when you're finished. Who's our next band, Neil?
Okay, next band up I've never heard of before. When you're researching and looking for a playlist, you come across bands from years ago, and delving back into the archives, Pfeiffer's Cave has a fantastic website and YouTube channel with loads of clips of bands that sadly are no longer on the road. This band is Motherwell Old Comrades, And sadly, they broke up in 1968, so that's even before I was born. A lot of the wee clips I put on here today are taken from LPs, and this was an LP that they brought out a lot of years ago. So the next one up is Black Man's Dream, Orange and Blue.
Ended quicker than I was enjoying that one. That was really, really good. I really like that rearrangement there. I'm reading through. I'm trying to get back. So I apologize if I have missed your text. There is just so many of them coming in. A lot of you not like haggis, and some of you do like haggis. Richie is freezing here in Calder Crooks. Matthew Wiley is watching. Evening off from the McCarthy's in Lisburn, and asking for a wee shout out. I'll do that one at the birthdays. Brian and Don Bailey are watching Ballyhalbert. Colin Johnson wants China back. Believe me, he is still commenting away. It's private messages, but he's still commenting away. He says that the Gertrude have joined the Black Necks, so that's his new update. Glenn Miller wants to know if the sharpshooters on tonight then.
Yes, I have the sharpshooters on later.
Good. John Downing's watching. Ronnie Hyman, Dougie Aitken, Kenneth Connor loves haggis. Senior Glenn says that he hopes that they're on. Almer had a wee bit of served with no women Valley. Well, Neil's criteria tonight is bands that are no longer with us. So who's your next one, Neil?
Now, I have a wee issue here because the next band I have is the Village Ballycarry, but they've already played. So next one up after that is Jordan Memorial Accordion. Okay.
I managed to put the text in twice. Well done, me.
Not the problem. Castle Defenders from Tandragee, a band I think I only seen maybe twice down in County Armagh. Parades around Armagh itself, and once I think I seen them maybe last Saturday in August or something. It was Banbridge. I think I seen them as well. They were a small band, and again, I don't think they last very long, so they didn't. But this is a clip of them a few years ago, and I'm not sure what they're playing. I've forgotten.
Message for you, Neil. Hello, Mark Patterson here. Can you tell Neil Kyle Wallace is with me? He said, "Did you get your lunch back when it got stole outside Arnott's?"
Right. Aye, somebody robbed my van, so somebody not very nice stole my bag out of my van at Arnott's. So somebody's very guilty there. Keep that wee name and I'll pass it on to the police.
I will indeed.
Yeah. They stole my driving license and lots of stuff. I had to reapply and all for everything. So we'll keep that wee number. No.
Oh dear. I thought it was somebody having a joke with you, Neil. Sorry about that. Oh.
No, was it? No, keep that wee name for me, please.
Let's move on to Kettle Defenders very quickly. Going to try and get through a few more messages here. Ian Nicholson can't believe that Motherwell Old Comrades is from 1968, whereas Scott Clark is trying to kid us all that he doesn't remember what an LP is. John Robert wants to know, can he have a shout out for all Glasgow Rangers fans? I think I've just done it, therefore, well done to all the Rangers fans. I believe they did a good victory today. Davy Logan really enjoyed that playing. Shepherd's Boy, Black Day Tune was played by Motherwell Old Comrades as well. Yes, really, really good arrangement there. Myrtle and Robert are watching in Ballysullen. Dougie Aitken says, what about the old Regal band? They always put on a good show for the crowd. We've had Regal on a few times on some of our oldies nights. The difficulty is actually getting a full clip of them because it's very, very hard to get a full clip in one go. SJ Han said Old Comrades were world champions right years ago. So there you go, Neil. There's another bit of information for you. Valerie, your sound is not very clear. I don't know whether that's any better or not now. Bubbles, you're trying to ring me and I can't take calls when I do this, idiot. George White Shield Hill is a happy chappy tonight. I'm guessing that's either because we played a tune that he liked or he's happy Rangers won. Trevor Murphy wants to know any Charles Watson memorial. I don't think I saw them in your list, Neil.
No, I haven't. I wish I could get a couple of clips of them. I remember seeing them down County Down a couple of times. They were very good bands, small but brilliant wee bands they were.
Yeah.
It's a band I have to look up.
Yeah, Andy Wishart's watching in Inchy. Kenneth Connor says Stacey Emma said you should try the haggis. Valerie, I love haggis. I absolutely adore haggis. Ivan Webb wants to know, does anyone remember Portadown Sons of William or Portadown Protestant Boys? I think I maybe put photographs of Portadown Sons of William on the forum page at one stage, but I'm not 100% certain. Could have done. Anyone else? Do you remember them, name?
No, I don't know. I don't remember them.
Margaret Gover is watching in Largs, Ayrshire. Eddie Torney is keeping up the side. He says that there's wee dolls on the flags. Who's your next band? Bound to be time for an accordion.
It is. Jordan Memorial from Carrickfergus. They folded there just in 2018 after struggling for a wee while with numbers. A great wee band who always put in plenty of effort, but their style was very well. I mean, they were always well turned out, very clean, very tidy. So we're a great wee band and no longer with us. They're playing Killaloe here down in Eden.
We sure clip there caught me unawares. Somebody's commenting there asking about the Eglin Accordion Band. Eglin Accordion Band are still active, so we can't have them on tonight in a show that we're doing about inactive bands. Let me just get... Brian Goody wants to know, any old Willowfield accordion from East Belfast? I think someone asked that before. I can't remember whether we managed to get it. I'm going to make a wee note of it just so that we can look for it. Lisburn Young Defenders will not be on tonight, Irvine, because again, Neil's theme is no longer active bands. Davy Logan thought that the Castle Defenders had hairstyles similar to the ones we have at the moment. In lockdown, in other words, unkempt. Great loss to Carrickfergus, says David. Jordan Memorial were a last accordion band that was left in the town. It's always a pity seeing accordion bands folding, especially accordion bands, any bands, but especially accordion bands. Ray McHugh wants to know any clips of Kirkcubbin accordion band. We don't have Kirkcubbin on this evening, but we do have a few other ones. What Glenn Miller? I'm just reading one comment. It's on isolation, so I have no idea what it's related to. He says you'd think they wear bras under their uniforms. What is that about? What is that? Someone's going to have to explain that to me. I've maybe missed a comment before that or not, but there's definitely something to that. Now, what's your next clip, Neil? You're here.
Sorry.
Okay.
Crumlin Young Loyalists. This was taken 2012 at the parade up to Stormont for the anniversary of Ulster. And again, this is one of MJ's videos where she gets right in close to the band, very clear, and the band's playing really, really well. If I remember back, I think this is called Last of Bon Accord.
It's Last Bon Accord, and it's a fiddle tune, believe it or not. It was written by a fiddler.
It was one of the first tunes I remember learning on the flute. Was it started in high D, so when you were going into double 40s with another band, they always called this tune.
Nice and loud. There's actually a really, really nice minor section to it as well, you know, because into minor chords instead, that you would hear a lot of accordions play. But yeah, it's originally a fiddle tune, believe it or not.
Crumlin were a great wee band. I always liked their uniforms. Their colours were really, really nice and bright.
So this is Crumlin Young Loyalists. Some good suggestions coming up in the text there. It's scrolled by there. Kirkcalban Accordion Band, Southdown DUP are actually on Neil's list this evening, which is really good. Ballykegel is another one that I think I saw someone mentioning. They are on Neil's list. John Taylor says he doesn't think Clinton are on the road anymore. I just did we check the Facebook page, John, because I did think that they were, and last 2018 was their 60th anniversary, and they were aiming to get the band together again for 2018. Whether it stayed together or not, or whether they managed it, I honestly don't know. I remember them with the tartan kilted skirts. Georgie Bickerstaff has explained the accordion straps that Glenn was talking about. I thought he was completely off in left field there. Neil Simpson says, what about Whitewell Defenders? They're not on your list, Neil, so we'll have to make a note of these.
There's nearly enough to do another show.
There definitely is, which is really, really sad. Smith Accordion Band from Lisburn. I remember those, Irvine, they used to have a lady on their bass drummer, on their bass drum. Any clips from a good band from Liverpool who folded up a few years ago, the White Hill Flute Band?
No, I don't know them. The only White Hill I knew was Bangor, and they're still going.
Yeah. Alan Moorhead says, haven't marched in at least 10 years, maybe longer. I mind getting drenched up there one night. Kelson Connor, accordion is off the road a few years now. My sister used to be in it. Again, there's lots of bands, but getting videos of them is sometimes the hardest bit of them. Now, yeah. I know that the next band is a particular favourite genre of yours and mine, Neil, because it is, of course, the silver.
Yes, I recorded this at Shangle Road Defenders contest, which was held in Carrickfergus Town Hall back in 2015, and it was like a break in between the melody bands. They brought a brass band on to play. CWA, and the sad thing about CWA is it's actually three bands that had to amalgamate into one because they were all too small. So it's Carrick, White House, and Agnes Street. Agnes Street was the Shangle, of course. And these three bands were all struggling, but they managed to merge together, and they're still playing, but they're not on the road no more. But it's good that they can still go around and support other bands as well. And they really got the crowd going that day in the town hall. It was good, and this is like a wee war piece that they done different tunes, Long Way to Tipperary and All the Nice Guys Love a Sailor or something like All the Nice Girls Love a Sailor. That's what it is.
All the nice guys.
Some of them do.
I remember their name.
Days of Diversity, Days of Diversity.
Brass.
It is 2021.
We short clip there from the brass. They're not just usually as short as that. John Dowling wants to know any Ulster Young Defenders from Sandy Row. Now, that's the second time I've heard someone asking for that band, and I did look, but I couldn't find any clips of them. So if anybody can find a clip, please send it in. Or Queensway Derryake. Well, I'm pleased to say Queensway are actually on Neil's list tonight, John, so keep watching. Anything from Newtonard's Volunteer Flute Band? No, we don't have those on the list this evening. I wonder, could anybody ever find a clip of Pride of Ulster Ballymena? I didn't even know it was a band, Scott, never mind finding the clip. There's lots of names coming up here. So there is. Edward wants to know what happens to all the band members. Do they join other bands? Oh, Edward, we were funny. We were saying that, was it last night? We were saying, where are all the former accordion players, like, you know, of all the accordion bands that there used to be that have folded, where did they all go? Where did the accordions all go as much as anything else? It would be nice to see them all coming back to bands. So it's hard to answer. It's just everybody's personal taste. Some people miss it so much that they do join another band. Some people wouldn't feel it was the same as they paraded with another band. It's just all a personal thing. It's sad to see them sort of like drifting away from the scene, but at least they still go usually and watch the parades afterwards. Cumberland Pipe Band from Kincaid, Norris said. There's another one that we've never heard of. Jim Werner's watching in Malyle. Eddie Turley wants to know, is there any clips of East Belfast Protestant Boys before they turned melody? No, there's not. Wish Your Young Grenadiers are no longer with us. If you have a video, please. Again, if you do have any old bands that you're wanting to see, we try and do an oldies night every so often. So if you can find a clip of them on YouTube, send us the link and we'll try and include it the next time we do a night. The difficulty is, of course, you know, getting a clip of any length of them, like a 30-second clip of them walking past the camera is generally no good to watch. But, you know, we do try to put sort of like full tunes on where we can. China says all the wee dolls got married and are now pushing prams. China, that is a terrible, terrible thing to say. Absolutely terrible. David Brown, anything from our Down Defenders? Again, another one that I'd never heard of. Rangers and Linfield won today, so give us a bit of any of the South Belfast band. I don't know if there is any of the South Belfast bands on Neil's list tonight, but we will see as we go through them. But who's our next one, Neil? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry. I think this clip's been on before. It's South East Antrim Defenders, who were Green Island Carrickfergus direction, and they're playing Running Bear here inside what is the old Alpha in Rathcoole.
Some of them definitely were more exuberant about the actions and that than others. There's a few of them are getting very carried away. As Ben Miller says, some wind in there pushing their banneret. Good choice, Neil, says Eddie Torney. Draw were another one, yes. Philip Mackay says that East Antrim or South East Antrim defenders were right size. You remember seeing them parading in Carrick and a few other places. Tigers Bay First Flute is another one. Lisa's remembering. I think I mentioned Drummadraw, Myro Flute. That's a good mention as well, Diane. Pride of Down Flute and Drumore County Down. No, we don't have anything from those. But again, Drumdonald accordion at Money's Lane. Never heard of them, to be honest. Tigers Bay Protestant Boys. Councillor Rodney Quickie, what about you making a reappearance, Valerie? maybe we'll see. Maybe. Tad Addison says he's too young to remember the owl bands. Who are you trying to kid? Really, absolutely. Sandown YCV in East Belfast, Ballysally, Drummaquil, Ballantyre. It's there's a lot of them. Actually, what saying Rodney's name reminds me, Councillor Rodney Quigley. So obviously Rodney is a councillor there in Ballymena and does a lot of good work there. And then we also have, John McCauley, who's in Cosby Coast and Glens, who works really, really hard for the community and is also in Janaki Flip Band. How many councillors do we not have out and about there in Bandland? Who knows councillors in their local area who are from bands? Post their name in there.
Timothy Gaston.
Timothy Gaston's not. We're bound to have quite a few whenever we think about them.
Mark Collins as well, Carrickfergus.
Yeah. Formerly Jordan Accordion, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. That's right.
Yeah. Star of Erin on tonight, Guy Bryan is Aston. Again, it's one that I haven't heard before. Some of these bands I've never heard of them before.
Councillor Rodney
Ian-
Quigley in Ballykill.
But he was the one that
I know. He started it, but he didn't mention the band or nothing like that. He just said from bands and just saying he was in Ballykill. He still is.
Monkstown Blue Star accordion band, Murray Memorial. Murray Memorial I have heard of. Black I have heard of. Randallstown Flute Band. But is Randallstown...
Sons of Ulster still going.
But was there a Randallstown Flute Band before them? I don't know. North Down Grenadiers. Melrow. Oh, I remember Melrow. Ballykelly Flute. I've never heard of them neither. I think years ago you didn't travel as much to see bands, and bands didn't travel as much to parade in your local areas. So, and of course, YouTube wasn't in existence, so therefore you didn't see them as much. Now, your next clip, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Okay, Argyll Temperance, or Argyll Amateur Temperance, started away back in the 1800s. Started from the 4th BB Brigade, just off the Shankill Road in Argyll Place Presbyterian Church. Elaine has great memories of Argyll Amateur Flute Band because her father's band, Old Park, they practiced in the same hall. So Elaine remembers as a child going to their band hall for practices, so she does. And also her great uncle led Argyll Amateurs, Argyll Temperance at one stage. So this has memories for her. But again, fantastic bands that are no longer with us. But this is a great tune that they have put together, Spanish Gypsy Dance.
Brilliant there. Absolutely loving that. I've heard accordion bands do it before, but never a flute band.
It even sounds old, but I'm just reading there that Scott says their old bass drum still sits at Crumkill Hall. That's just outside Ballymena. That's fantastic. That'd be a collector's piece.
I think he's actually talking about Crumkill Pipe Band.
Oh, right. So I'm reading.
Or Ballykill 472's drum is in the band or Crumkill Orange Hall. It'll be Ballykill 472 flute band he's going about, probably.
All right.
Because that's the one Councillor or Matthew Armstrong was in.
Carntall accordion suggests Kenny Dummigan. We have them on the list. Bally Blues and Royals, says Rusty Stern. Absolutely brilliant band. Sons of Ulster Glasgow we have on the list as well. Gordon Winter says there was a few of us out of the Birches Band parade at the Scottish 12th with Kells & Connor one year. I do remember Kells & Connor band. Again, sometimes these guys, finding clips of them is really, really difficult to do. Randleston Flute Band were the band before Sons of Ulster, apparently. They folded it and then restarted again. Argyll Church, Argyll Presbyterians was Jim Werner's old church when he was younger. Ken's Church says they were a great band in their day. Everyone enjoying it. Philip Mackay says Pride of Shanghai, Catesbridge were a decent band. I've seen photographs of them, never videos of them. Moss Side Accordion. I am not 100% certain that Moss Side are, I don't know. I think they're still going. I'm not sure. I think they struggled, but I think they managed to get out in the 12th, so I think they are still going. Loyalist Fusiliers Armagh is one that we've actually had on a few of the shows. Callum McLean says the original band to do Run and Bear was Newton Defenders Irvine, and it's done sitting down.
Oh.
So there you go. Lily of the Valley Macramorn, Britannia Flute Band Shankill, Pride of Down, New Park Flute Band Antrim, Monkstown Blue Star Accordion. My goodness, Rising Sons of Down, Donaghadee, lots of band names there. We'll have to take a wee note of these and see if we can find them. Ron Bailey mentions James Carroll Memorial Accordion Band. I remember them. I do remember seeing them in concert. Who's up next in your list then, Neil?
Okay, next band up, Achillee Young Volunteers. We band that they did very well when they were on the road, and a great style they had with them. You know, lovely grey uniform with a purple, and nice set of drums all. I remember going to the parade. I think our parade was quite earlier in the year, like early April, and it started in the dark and it finished. It was even darker, but it was hard to see who was coming and it was hard to video. But they were a well turned out wee band, and you know it's a pity some of these bands just couldn't last a wee bit longer. Some of the bands that were mentioned there, I had on previous times it was on. I believe, of course, are still on the road. But as you say, Valerie, it's hard to get video clips of them because there's a few of them there that I had thought of. Sandown and Pride of Windsor and a few others. And it's just getting video clips of them that's really, really hard.
If you can think of any other bands who are no longer with us, definitely pop the name in the comments, and what we'll do is we'll review them and try to find clips of them. As Neil says, it can sometimes be really, really difficult, but we'll do your best. And if you know of any clips of them about anywhere, definitely send them in. So if I'm right, this video of Achillee Young Volunteers is not that old. It's 2014 or something, 2016.
Yeah.
And they hold special memories, or Achillee holds special memories for me, because apart from the Easter Monday parade, Achillee was my first band parade of bands, was Pride of the Main.
Mm-hmm.
Nice uniform and everything. It really, really is such a pity. Some great band names coming in there. William Smith thinks that Moss Side walked in Ballymoney on Black Saturday 2019. Yeah, I know that they were trying to keep going, and that's the thing. Sometimes it gets to the point where it's a struggle to keep going, and as long as you hold on after like after a period of time, you can pick up again. Some people just decide to call it a day. Temple Patrick, Sons of Boy, one I've never heard of. Trevor Monaghan says that's a decent wee Blood and Thunder. Tuckermore Duke of Accordion, Noel Stewart, I remember them. They were fantastic. Really strong accordion band. Patna Faith Defenders, Ayr in Scotland. The old Steeple Band.
Before the Defenders.
Not sure who that would have been. Crimson Star East Belfast, East Belfast True Blues. Oh my goodness, Lisa, you've got a list there. South Belfast Volunteers, Mount Vernon Volunteers, Rising Sons of the Somme Carrickfergus, West Belfast Volunteers, and Young Conway Volunteers. My goodness. Robert Goldsmith's wondering, is the Teenies still in the road? I think you said, Neil or Roy, that they were trying to reform.
I think Teenie still walk the 12.
They still did the odd Loyal Order parade, but they were trying to reform fully to be back out in the road again. And then coronavirus happened, so it's put sort of a pay to it in the meantime.
Pride of the Lagan, Dramara, Woodbird Accordion, and Carrickfergus. McCain Memorial Antrim Girls, I can remember them. Muckamore and Steeple Girls, 4 accordion bands that were in an Antrim. Hillview, Shankill and Onward from New York Road, where James Galway started. Says David Sheridan. Jonathan Courtney said Red Rock Purple Heroes. I've heard of them, never seen them. Gavin Haslett says Pride of the Valley, Tully Alley, Londonderry, the Pink Fairies. Aaron Chambers says, now is that Drummiller or is there an H missing? Drumhillier? Not sure. Accordion band. Blue Star, Ida McGee, Aaron Elliott accordion band, Bells Hill Blues and Royals. Oh my goodness, it's so sad that we see all these names coming up. But then, of course, we have to remember that there's new bands start as well. Bucknell Defenders, Brashean. Now, Scott, I think you're taking the Mickey there. Carrie Duff accordion was another one. Carrie Duff were carried on. Ballymaccarrick Defenders. Ballymaccarrick Defenders are still going, so. Let's see. Fernwood Star, Ballinafy Defenders. Giants Causeway, Present Boys. I know there's been a few moves to get Causeway back up and running again. Prince of Orange accordion and Everton Road, says Annabelle Kinnear. Marty Burrows says it's Golden Oldie, maybe no videos to Henry Wilson. Gordon Wintermiller's Hill accordion. Loads of ones coming in there. Some of them I've never heard. Some of them I have. Drumiller accordion, Drumore. Yeah, Shankill Loyalist 70s. David Sales Memorial. I've seen photographs of them, and then they've reformed. I think was it them became White Rock, possibly. Could have been. So let's get on now. Their next clip, Neil, is a brilliant choice. I absolutely love this melody band. When you see these bands playing and you sort of go, why did they ever fold? They were so good. This band, the fact that they folded is such a crime. It is a sin because they were so good. Do you want to tell everyone who it is?
Well, I went looking for this band because I wanted them on the show, and I think I spent about 2 hours watching videos of them, and then I tried to pick a clip that we hadn't heard before. So this is Sons of Ulster Glasgow. It was taken in Kilkeel back in 2010, and it's recorded by Gary G.
Loads of comments coming in there about how good Sons of Ulster were, and they definitely were class outfit indeed. Some more names coming in there. Trory Accordion, I can remember them. Yes, I can remember them as well. Jean, as China would say, where they got the idea for their cream jackets was from the drum major of Sons of Ulster, Glasgow. Blackburn No Surrender Flute Band, go on the mid-80s, we formed with another to create Whitburn Young Conquerors, says Mick Joel. Never heard of them. Trevor Monaghan says Grange True Brews, Ballydrum All Pipe Band in the Randallstown area. Bucknall Pipe Band, now off the road a few years ago. Samuel Miller's dad used to be in it. Let's see, Newton Abbey Fusiliers, New Mosley Volunteers, Gormley Protestant Boys, Cromwell Young Loyalists, Queen's Park Tartan.
Yep.
Seems to be short-lived bands in Belfast, don't they? Definitely do. The Wriggle, of course, we know about. Ballyhalbert Followers of Rangers, Pride of the Frontier. No, I've read that one out. Someone has said that the David Seals band actually broke away from the White Rock. I don't know. I don't remember them at all. I'm too young, far too young. Don't say anything smart, Neil. Tommy Checkison Robertson, you had asked for Alan Corps of Drums playing at Norrie MacLeod. Now, I did look for it. I have no idea what the tune Norrie MacLeod looks like. So my only hope was that someone else had played Norrie MacLeod. Sounds like someone else had played Norrie MacLeod, and that I would be able to hear what it like and then find Alan Corps of Drums playing it. But I wasn't successful. So you're going to have to send me a YouTube link if you want us to play that some night on the show. Now, next band up was one someone had mentioned earlier on. It is
South Down DUP. Different bands called tunes by different names. Whenever I was fluting with White Abbey, this used to be called Barley and Oak. And a friend of mine, he was in a band in Carrick, and they called it something completely different. So somebody else would probably have a different name for this tune as well. But this is a clip taken back a few years ago, 2007. And it's them again, I think, just finishing off a parade. And this was taken, you were talking about band forms, this was taken by Livid LFC, who used to be one of the moderators on the Ulster Bands Forum way back years and years ago.
Before my time. Only a wee young thing, so believe me, yeah. That was a really short one. Really short one.
I think we started in the wrong place. We were meant to start now, and there's a whole tune to come.
Could be my fault. Sorry. Do I try playing there again, Roy? That was a better length. And what do you say they called that, Neil?
We used to call it, I think, Barley and Oak. It's probably got different names by different bands.
I only ever use it knew it as the Protestant Boys. The Protestant Boys were loyal and true, stout-hearted in battle, and something to do. I can't remember the rest of the words.
There's a couple of bands I was looking for, and I'm hoping maybe Lisa has videos of them and she could send them through to me if she has them. It was the Dam Busters from Newton Abbey and also Merville First Flute. I spent hours looking for them and I couldn't find any clips of them. I'm hoping maybe Lisa would have them. I had planned to send her a message and never got around to it.
Oh, it looks like we might have a few weeks to go yet of the virtual band praise. Adrian McVennis is Ballylurgan Flip Band from outside Randallstown. Fina accordion and Carnini accordion. Caroline Hughes is saying. The Gallant Pint. Davy Logan, I'm not sure what that's. Is that the name of the tune or that name, the alternative name for Barley and Oak? Les Navenna Flip Band and Ferniske accordion and Kells. Some of the former members from South Dublin DUP went on to form Money's Lane. I actually thought that the whole band just reformed as Money's Lane, but there you go. Let me just see there. Loch Gall True Blues, William Corey accordion, Rockin accordion. Is Rockin accordion off the road? Derek Corey accordion, Verner's Inn accordion, Seago accordion. Wow, that's a lot of accordion bands, Gordon. Brian Goody says, what about East Belfast Protestant Boys? They haven't been seen in a while. You're obviously not watching the virtual band parades then because they're continuously on it. Melbourne Loyalist Tobermore says Mark Anderson, Billy Boys, Rathcoole. Were the Billy Boys, John, not just formed for 1 year? Am I right?
No, they're still on the go.
Still going. Mark Patterson, Neil will get reading your messages with regards to the lunch and you can get that.
I'll send you a message after.
That'll do. Young Conquer, Shankill Road, Britannia. My goodness, so many bands. Now, the next band, I remember the next band. This band in their day were up at the top competing against the Killycoogans and all.
You remember them forming?
Huh? I don't remember them forming. I remember them when they were in their real zenith, and it is Ballykiggle Band. Am I right in saying, unfortunately, it's not a video? I would love to see a video.
Sadly, it's taken from an LP, and the LP was released in 1979. I tried to look up some information about the band. There's very little about them at all, what year they folded or anything. But all I know is they're from Cumber, is that right?
Yeah, they are. Jim McVeigh used to be one of their solo accordion players. He used to accompany one of the country singers, the Irish country singers, on the piano. He was a fantastic musician. David Hiles, Libby Hiles were in it as well. Oh, they were really, really good in their day. And again, just sad to see them no longer with us. But I'm really looking forward to this, playing the Waveney March again, another favourite march of mine for accordion bands. Good picking, Nick. Good choosing. obviously a fairly early recording of them because I can remember them playing as Space Odyssey 2000 with the timpani and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely brilliant theme from a Turkish market, I think, was another one that they did in contest. Miller's Hill played against them in the Portrush contest in the seniors. They sure did, Gordon. I can remember that. Trevor says if a few former members of Ballykegel in Limerick Valley, and he's sure he has a video of them about somewhere. Get it hooked out and get it up onto YouTube, Trevor. Eddie 20 wants to know, do we really have to have so many accordion bands on? We actually don't have that many accordion bands on tonight, Eddie, but I suppose one is too many for you. Ken Stewart says Ballykegel were a class act we all looked up to at that time. Sure did. David Gracie Memorial. I've seen a video of David. I actually have a video of David Gracie. It's just them sort of going by. I think it's actually Carn Hall's parade in Ballyclare going past the camera in the time, but I have seen it. White Hill Band, when they folded, some of the members became original members of my favourite band, Imperial Corps of Drums, which just reminds me I'm going to have to get my t-shirt on again. Some became members of the Heroes of the Somme and the Young Carsons. David Milliken says, tell Neil I'd be very disappointed if he hasn't dug out a clip of White Abbey Protestant Boys in the Maroon.
Sadly, the only clips I can find are about 20 or 30 seconds long. I wish there was more.
It's always the case, isn't it? Joan Peel wants to know, is the Diamond Accordion Band still on the road? Now, someone can help me settle a dispute. Was the Diamond Accordion Band ever a real accordion band? Because I always had heard the rumour that it was just a load of guys in the studio making records. I don't remember anyone ever saying that they ever saw them on the road or not.
Say records.
Records. What's wrong with the way I say records?
Nothing.
It's just your Belfast accent. Ladies, Glasgow, Dougie Aiken says Ronnie Baird Memorial Antrim. Bit of dispute about the tune. Apparently, there were two tunes played by South Down DUP. I actually was listening to the last one, which was Protestant Boys, but apparently the first one was known as either Gallant Pint or Barley and Oak. I thought Ken Tate was just placing his order in there at the bar because he just wrote Pint.
Here, Neil.
Yes.
I know Valerie said it must be New Belfast, but there's an O in records in Ballymena as well.
Yeah.
Must just be a Coleraine thing that there's no O in it.
Records. What?
Records. That's an ERD at the end. Records. Chords. CORDS.
Dear. Who have we got next then? Oh, someone had asked for this band, didn't they?
A wee band I remember a few years ago, and this video they're really enjoying themselves. So they're playing Build My Gallows, and it's recorded by Band Parades, and it looks like a lot of fun.
having a lot of fun there. Just reading through all of these, there was an awful lot of accordion bands folded. If they were all active today, my goodness, there'd be a lot on the road. Ballyward, accordion band from Rathfriland. So yes, someone confirmed that the Diamond Accordion Band was Fred Hanna. That's the name I couldn't remember. It wasn't Roadmarch Band. There was originally a Diamond Accordion Band, but they were, you know, like they were just two rolls and hymns and that kind of stuff. And then they kept the name going, but it was just a studio band because who's the other guy that was involved in it? Used to Kelly Coogan. Oh, my head, completely out of my head now. Completely out of my head. Gordon Young. Sorry?
Question for you.
Right.
Really controversial. Do you know the way going back years ago there was loads and loads and loads of accordion bands?
Yes.
And there was flute bands.
Yes.
Why is it now that there's loads and loads and loads and loads of flute bands, but very few accordion bands? Is it because people don't have any interest in accordion bands?
No, it is because it's harder and takes longer to learn an accordion than it would do a flute. And the thing about it is today's culture, instant gratification.
From personal experience, I learned to play the sash quicker on an accordion than I did a flute. So that
tells you everything you need to know.
But I can play a flute. I can play a flute and play the things. But I learned to play the sash on an accordion quicker than I can play it on a flute. It's just a keyboard. There's loads of piano players out there.
All the accordion bands years ago were two-roll accordions. Egypt. Ivan Black, that's the name, Elaine. Thank you very much. No, it wasn't Wally Richmond. It was Ivan Black, Elaine. Ivan Black played along with the Diamond as well in the studio. Sons of William Rathfriland, there's another one. Accordions are expensive, Doris. Tell me about it. Anybody wants to start up at Just Giving, I've discovered a new accordion that I want. It's a completely new design of keyboard. It's not a piano keyed. It's not a 5-row. It is the advantages of the 5-row, but it's in the shape of a piano keyed. It's actually a piano keyed with multiple keyboards. So if anybody wants to donate to Just Giving Fund for me to buy one of those, I'd be greatly appreciated. Yes.
Should you not use the ones you have first?
Totally agree, Neil. Totally agree.
My goodness. My goodness. I don't have time to use them. Why would I use them? What have I
There's
done?
no point buying a new one then.
I know, but I wanted to learn. I always like trying to learn new ones. You know.
It's like a new house, but I've got one.
Well, I start off in the piano key, and then everybody else.
Is it one of these electronic ones? You don't even have to push in and out. You just turn it on and go dee.
Shush you. I started off on a piano key because that's what I knew, and then everybody in the band that I was joining played a 2-row, so I felt odd out. So I learned myself the 2-row, and then I learned myself the 2.5-row, and then after a while I decided I wanted to learn the 5-row. So yes, I have all of those, but I want one of these new ones. I want one of these new ones. Everyone is against me tonight, Alan. It is not fair. Hans Jordan says you could stick a flute in your pocket and accordion would buy some flutes. Definitely would. Brian Goody says, Ron, you can sing. Roy, you can sing along while playing accordion. Let's see you doing that with a flute. It's what I've never done. And for if anyone listening, you don't want to hear it neither. David Milligan said there must be thousands of accordions sitting in roof spaces. There absolutely must be, David. And funny, I was saying last night, I got cupboards built in here so I could store all the accordions in here, but I'm too worried about damp because accordions are really, really susceptible to damp. So if anybody has an accordion thrown up the roof space and it's damp and cold up there, it will be in some mess. Absolutely some mess. Scott Clark says, hard to hide the money. Hey, one day she's talking about upgrading the market, the next day she wants to just give them page for an accordion. I know. Well, you see, that means I can't upgrade the mark if you give me a just given page for an accordion. It means I don't have to spend the money on both. Right, who's the next band? Let's move on quickly.
Okay, this is a wee short clip. It was very hard to find a video of Star of Eden pipe band from Carrickfergus. An old friend of mine, Derek, his father was in this band, and I think I remember them a few years ago, a long time ago actually, because I think they folded about at least 10 years ago. So it's Star of Eden pipe band from Carrick.
Just a wee teensy bit of a bide with me there. Took good. John Peel says it took him 5 months to blow sharp, crisp notes on the flute. After that, played real music. In other words, the accordion, John. Is that what you're trying to say? Carnew accordion and Scarva accordion, another two on the road. My goodness, Portside, Sons of Ulster, Ballyclare, Young Defenders, Ulster Defence Flute, Lisburn, YCV Memorial, Lisburn Protestant Boys. Lisa, where are you getting all these names? Pride of the Village, Broomhedge. I mean, I'm only just slightly younger than you, Lisa. Where are you getting all these names? Who's your next band, Neil?
Okay, next one up is Magabry True Blues. We're talking earlier about bands merging. So we've had Magabry, we've had Achilles, and we've had Crumlin, and they've all folded, but they're all within about 10 miles of each other. If we take if we took about 10 people out of each band, you could get one band between the three towns. You know, if Carrick, Whitehouse, and Agnes Street can do it in the silver bands, then maybe them three bands could get together and form one flute band. But it's Magabry True Blues, down in Portadown, and it's recorded by MJ.
Some great names of bands coming on. Definitely have to go through this whole list and note these all down because it's actually scary. Cumberland Pipe Band and Kilkeel, Dunate Accordion and Lisburn Accordion, Banbridge Langnois, Mountbatten Memorial Banbridge. I think we actually saw a video of Mountbatten Memorial Banbridge in one of our other oldie nights. Samuel McBurney contacted, he said, the Whitewell Defenders at his house when he was master of his lodge. Band leader called Tanya. By God, she was the best and a good looking woman. I do remember Tanya as a drum major. I can't comment on her looks because I honestly wasn't watching her for that. But she was a great drum major. Just goes to show you that the wee dolls could do it as well as the wee boys, China. Okay. So what we wanted to do was take a little bit of time out this evening just to mark the passing of a wee guy. Maybe some of you haven't seen him on the road or not, but I'm sure you all know Sam Dixon and the Dogs. So what Sam did, and he was absolutely brilliant for it, was he brought a lot of kids who loved bands but who couldn't walk or couldn't take part in them. He used to bring them along with him. And one of the wee guys that he always did there was Brandon. And I'm sure Brandon, sorry, Roy? Brandon Dunseith. I just knew him ever as Brandon. And I'm sure some of you actually saw Sam with Brandon. Sam pushed him in the wheelchair in front of the band and Brandon just loved it. I always made a point of waving and he just loved people waving him and him waving back. And unfortunately, he passed away today. And I know Sam and is very upset about it. And I'm sure his family are devastated. So just wanted to take a wee moment. We're going to play a wee clip here. It's a clip we found very, very quickly because we only saw the message just before we came on air. But it's a clip with Sam and Brandon and a couple of the other kids that Sam always makes a point of bringing along. And I love the way that he does that. This is them in Ballymoney in 2019.
The one we've got sent, it's North Ballymena Protestant Boys. It's Ballykeel 2018. So it's just Brandon himself with Sam. Neil sent me across.
Brilliant. Okay, that was a different clip from we were trying to find before we started come on air. So we just wanted to play a wee clip for Brandon, and our sympathies and thoughts are with his family and friends and Sam as well. Isn't it amazing how they always talk about the band scene being like bands being like one big family? The band scene in its entirety is like that, because I don't know Brandon. I've never met Brandon, never spoken to Brandon, but I felt as if I know him because of seeing him with the band out there. And it's probably the same for everyone, that you see people in bands and you feel as if you know them, even though you don't really. Like if any of you come up to talk to me after this is all over and after we get back to band parades, you'll know me. I have a clue who you are, so you're just going to have to tell me before you hug me. Tell me who you are, okay? just don't want to be hugged by randoms that haven't been watching it. I don't mind if it's a random that has been watching it, but I'm a hugger, so I definitely want the hugs. Where are we going next? Oh, brilliant clip next, Neil.
This is an old clip of yours that you uploaded there not that long ago. It's taken from 1992. It's Carntall Accordion, and they're playing British Friends.
And Carntall, their conductor of the band in this clip, is actually watches the virtual band parades regular, Ken Stewart. I'm sure you've all seen him commenting. So hope you enjoy this wee throwback as well, Ken. Superb. As Ken said, way back in the late 80s, early 90s, that's when accordion bands were at their height. I vote for a revival. I think we should have a revival of the accordion bands. Definitely do. Definitely do. Good pick, and Neil. It's actually quite funny because that same contest, the video is on YouTube, and I do not know what is going on with my hair. It is just like a poodle has literally sat on the top of my head, and then there's like nothing because it's all plaited to go in behind the band hand. It's just a poodle, and it's just not pretty at all. Now, next band I've never heard of, and I'm really interested in them.
No, I never heard of this band either. And again, I was just searching around, doing a bit of research, looking for bands. And apparently this wee band didn't last very long, maybe 3 or 4 years. And it started up by a few members from Sons of Ulster Glasgow. And you can tell with their style, it's quite similar. 2013, 2014, so a couple of years. There's not many clips on YouTube, maybe just half a dozen or more. But the sound is fantastic.
Love that tune, Battle of the Somme. As Richard McGonigal there says, it's a lovely 9/8 march. Almost sounds like a waltz, but it's a fantastic pipe march as well. It goes really nicely. There's another 8/1. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Beautiful. It goes really, really well with it. Few more bands coming in there. Ballintoy accordion, Castlecat accordion, Ballyogluk accordion, Ballytober accordion, Derry Keegan flute band, Bushmills Young Loyalists, Craig Alappin. Oh my goodness, I remember all of those. Loads coming in there. We definitely have enough for quite a few shows there. Just finding clips is the problem.
That's true. It is. It's getting the clips, and getting full tunes, especially. A band walking by, you don't see an awful lot of them, but
No.
yeah, it's hard to get a full clip.
Yeah, what I ended up resorting to for some of our oldies nights was just playing, like 10 minutes from an old parade so we could see all the bands.
Yes.
But at least, that's sometimes all you can get, because way back then the videographers, the cameras were too big. They couldn't walk around following the bands the way they do now. Now we're going to do the birthdays after the next band, so I have some birthdays. If Heights of Darkness, is that what you call it? I don't remember that being the name of it, but I could be wrong, Richard. Maybe. I would have to get my music book to look. We're going to do birthdays after the next band. It's another accordion band. Sorry, Eddie, but we've only got 5 accordion bands on this evening. I know it may feel like more because we're talking a lot about them, but there is only 5 accordion bands.
Well, the last clip was 6 minutes, so that probably count for 2.
But it was still brilliant. Now, this next clip is some birthdays coming up. Put them in the comments, and Neil will tell us what the next birthdays is.
Okay, this is another LP. It's York Street Girls Accordion, and lovely, happy, smiley faces on the front of the LP. So it is, and it would just cheer you up looking at them.
Great. A lot of you remarking on the lack of material in the band skirts there on the album cover. Funny, I noticed that whenever I was posting a lot of the old clips or the old pictures from the accordion bands, particularly in Belfast, they were very, very short skirts. Very short skirts. That's maybe why there were so many members in those days, Roy. Do you think if we brought back short skirts, would we get a few more members? A bit more support for use men and flip bands?
No idea. They're just saving money on the short skirts. That's all it was.
So cynical, so cynical. So we're going to do the birthdays next. So happy birthday to Linda Neely, and that comes from your mum Rosemary. Also happy birthday to Lorna McIlrath, who has asked for a little bit of Crimson Star, and it is on the programme. Don't panic. Also to Deborah McCarthy, whose birthday is today. Matthew Kerr, your birthday was yesterday, but unfortunately they forgot to put your birthday request in. So this is for yesterday, and you play the bass drum in South Fermanagh Loyalists. And then a wee comment there had just come up. Happy birthday to Elizabeth McCubbin. She was 60 yesterday. That's coming from Sister McCubbin in Ayrshire, Scotland. And there's another one. Happy birthday to Mark Winkingham, an old school band man, always pushing on musically and teaching for over 45 years, currently with his local band Clockfern Young Conkers, and that comes from Davy Milligan. So happy birthday to you all for today. Also, I just want to take a wee second to mention young Devil, Derek Williams, whose birthday is on Thursday. Didn't think I would forget you, Devil. So happy birthday to you all, whatever you may do to celebrate your birthday. And here are the Three Muskehounds.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from the Forum. Happy birthday to you.
Such dulcet tones from the Muskehounds there. Now, we've got quite a few clips yet to play, Neil. I'm going to have to shorten the lists because we're not managing to get 27 bands in the 2 hours. So we're going to run over a wee bit. So hope you will all stay with us because trust me, it is definitely worth it. Some brilliant bands still to come. Now, your next choice, Neil, it's not often you hear a silver band playing this selection of tunes, but it's really, really nice to hear.
That's why I picked it. This is the 55th Old Boys, again an old BB band, formed in 1920 and sadly folded about 2003 from North Belfast. They're playing the Sash, Slopes and the Orange Lily Oak.
Now, you all know what I think of the sash, but that was a brilliant arrangement. Absolutely brilliant the whole way through. Absolutely. I want that arrangement. Somebody get me that music, please. It was fantastic. Brilliant arrangement. Jim Werner says that Percy Street Girls accordion, the leader had long white boots and hot pants. Thank goodness that was out of the fashion by the time I came to bands, because that would not have been pretty. Now, next flip band is a cracking choice.
This is an old favourite of mine. When I was in the band, this would have been one of my favourites. York Road, No Surrender. And they're playing here in Cookstown Town Hall for Larry Lorne. And this is one of my favourite marches, Aces High.
young-looking Andy Brownlee there, I think, on the lead drum.
That's right, yes.
Mm-hmm. I only know him with much shorter hair.
He was always famous for his moustache.
I'm trying to think, he did my last tattoo, actually. I'm trying to think, did he have a moustache then? I don't think he has now. Not sure, I can't remember. Union Jack Shop will welcome all forum members to a big party when we get back. Eddie Tony is paying. It's on the list, says China. There you go. Who's up next, Neil? Trying to get through them all.
This is a new band for me. Never heard of them before. Found it just at the Pfeiffer's Cave Facebook page or YouTube channel. It's Earn Amateur Flute Band, and they're playing Left Incline.
Very abrupt end there, but very, very nice nonetheless. Earn Amateur Flute, I'm guessing they're from around the Enniskillen area.
I think so. There wasn't much information on them.
And then up next, another band that someone mentioned earlier on.
One of Lisa mentioned a couple of these next bands coming up, and this is one of Lisa's clips. Young Conway Volunteers.
Sounding well there. And good news for Eddie. This is our last accordion band coming, isn't it?
We better help maybe with this one. Castlewellan Orchestra Accordion. Now, there was a Castlewellan Victoria accordion band. Are they the same? And is it now that they're off the road and they're now just an orchestra?
No, the Castlewellan Victoria and Castlewellan Accordion are the same band. They would have been a very small old band, but they would have had a very, very strong contest band, concert band. But I believe they're off the road now, unfortunately. They were very, very good.
The last records I could find was 2018, and I couldn't find any video clips of Castlewellan Victoria, just a couple of photos, and that was in the Down Recorder.
Yeah, I have a couple of clips of them in Ballymoney, and again, very small. They were not as good a quality on the road as they definitely were on the stage. That's for sure.
Okay.
1914, Donny Boy.
So I have done it again. I have managed to put a band off the road that are still active. I apologise, Nicola and Cheryl, both of whom, of course, are with Castlewellan Accordion. The band are still going strong, have never missed a 12th or Black Saturday, Nicola tells me, so I do apologise. I just haven't seen you forever and a day, but I do apologise for lumping you in with the bands no longer active. They are still active. You're an exalted company along with Lisburn Young Defenders. Who was the other one? Who's the other one who did that with? Can't remember. So I do my apologies to the members of Castlewell.
I couldn't find any videos of them. I searched for hours a day looking videos of them, and the only thing I could find was Praise Commission said that they were walking in 2018. That was the last record I had, so that's why I added it in.
So it's your fault, Neil. It wasn't me. It was your fault.
I take the blame, but they have to come out on the road more. They have to
I
go out.
should have known better. But I haven't seen them for the longest time. But then I haven't seen any bands for a year anyway. No, there is definitely clips of them playing in parades in Ballymoney and places like that there. And I'm almost sure there's one of them in Carntall as well. But those are kind of late 80s, early 90s. But Eddie Dorney says have put China, him and Stephen off the road as well. Oh, dear. So Castlewell are still an active band. Who's up next, Neil? Are we definitely sure these bands are finished now?
Yeah, another one of Lisa's videos. This is West Belfast Volunteers. Proudly are doing, I think, 40th anniversary parade, and they're playing an old Beach Boys number, Sloop Jumpy.
Of course, that is the Sloop Jumpy. It is not known by any other name because the band played it on the road long before there was ever lyrics put to it for a song for a certain football team. Okay, so it was Sloop Jumpy. Now, I know your next choice is going to be really popular, Neil. Who is this?
Wee band that was asked for earlier, and another wee band that everybody seems to enjoy, Sharpshooters playing Black Bear.
brilliant. As someone said, way before their time, many, many years ago, way before it. Now, coming to the last band of tonight. Thank you all for joining us. And again, my apologies to Castlewell and Accordion. They are active. They are active. They are not on road. They are active. Should have been played tonight. But this is the last band. It's not a no longer active band. So I just want to stress that the next band is also still active. But we're playing it tonight because it was a birthday request. Birthday request for Lorna McElrath, who asked for it because today is her birthday, and it is Crimson Star Cumber. Just before we start to play that there, Neil, I want to thank you so much for choosing the clips this evening. Absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed them. I think everyone else has as well by the comments.
Thank you for having me. I always enjoy coming on. I even more enjoy going through all the old clips and picking out the bands. I spent about a week at it and I loved every minute of it, and found bands that I'd never seen before, which is even better.
I know, and there's so many bands mentioned on the thread tonight that I wasn't aware of neither. Even though you did get me in trouble, it's been a pleasure having you. Really.
And also not forgetting the other half of on the March videos, who's probably setting off to Neil's right. Get yourself, say hello. Hi. Say hello, Elaine.
Hi. Elaine is the technical expert there. She keeps me right. But absolutely brilliant choices of clips, Neil, and we'll definitely have you back again soon. I think we're actually planning on having the Muskehounds back again as well. I know I'm a glutton for punishment, but what can you do? Finishing off this evening with Crimson Star Cumber. Do not forget to join us next week on the Friday night. Friday night is Roy's choices.
Yes,
and then
choices.
Saturday night is Lisa's choices. I have no idea what their themes are as yet because they haven't told me, but I'm sure they will have one. What's yours, Roy?
My theme is simple. It is bands and tunes that I really enjoy.
Well,
I'm keeping the mix of Blood and Thunder, Melody, and those other squeezy things that you enjoy. There's only going to be 3 of those because tonight's probably made up for the 6 weeks worth. So there'll be 3 squeezy things. There'll be Melody. There will be a couple of surprise tunes in there as well, or couple of surprise things in it as well as I normally throw in. So
we could probably guess a few of them, I would imagine, but we'll see next Friday night whether we're right or not. Join us then at 8 o'clock on Friday night and on Saturday night for Lisa's clips. And until then, keep the flits to the mouth because we're coming to the Tin Boys.
'Twas when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their hardened zeal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay? Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven. Whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a fou de joie to him who victory won, come prime and load and see you give charge unto your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full there's nothing can surpass. There's naught expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah, the memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.